Hello Year 7, so we've done turning fractions into percentages, we've done turning percentages into fractions. Now we're going to look at turning percentages into decimals and decimals into percentages. Okay, so let's turn percentages into decimals first. So if I take, and I'm going to start with a classic, 50%. So 50%, I can write that as a fraction, can't I? We've learnt how to do that, so that's 50 over 100. Okay, now, what we should remember about fractions is fractions are just funky, fancy divisions. So it's just 50 divided by 100. Now, if we remember, so that's the same as 50 divided by 100. If we remember right back to probably end of September, October time, we looked at dividing by 100. And what happens is your number gets smaller by a place value of 10. So by 100, okay? Which means it's 10 for every 0 that you have. So it's got to move 2 places. So 50 divided by 100 becomes 0.5. So 50% as a decimal becomes 0.5. So let's have a look at 25% as a decimal. So 25 goes to 25 over 100. So that's the same as 25 divided by 100. Now when I divide by 100, my decimal point moves twice. It doesn't really, all my numbers move. We've talked about that before, but it looks like my decimal point moves twice. So it's that. Let's do 5%. So 5% is one that people often get wrong, because people often say that 5 divided by 100 is 0.5, but that's 50. Actually, it's 0.05. Remember, it's got to move twice. So if we talk about place value tables, you know, you've got your tens, your ones, your decimal point, your tenths, your hundredths, your thousandths. Yeah, we should remember doing this. If I had 50% when I divide it by 100, it moves 2 spots over. 2 spots over. So it becomes, yeah, so the 5 goes 2 spots over 2, and so then you fill in the rest of the gaps with a 0. Okay, just as a little prompt. So if we do then 17.5%, 17.5 over 100. So that's 17.5 divided by 100. So moving it 1, 2, so it's going to be 0.175. That's meant to be a 1, sorry, my finger slipped when I was writing. 175. Okay, so that's turning percentages into decimals. And then if I go the other way and I turn decimals into percentages, well then you can see it's just going in the opposite direction. So this way I divided by 100. This way I'm going to times by 100. Okay, so we just times by 100. So 0.2 as a decimal, I times it by 100, and that's 20%. 0.04 times it by 100, 1, 2, so that's going to be 4%. Okay, 0.015 times it by 100 is 1.5%. And that's it. It's as simple as that. Okay, so that is the lesson. So the one we did last time on turning percentages to fractions, that was your first lesson's worth on Thursday. and then percentages to decimals and decimals to percentages is your second lesson on the Thursday. Now Friday's lesson, so tomorrow's lesson, I'm going to be setting you some My Maths work to do, which will be on this. After that, next week then, you won't have any work being set by me. Your work will be set by Mr. Ottazalti. And the reason is because my baby is due on Saturday. And so I won't be working after Saturday. It might come earlier, but I'm recording this and I'm setting the work on Monday evening so that it's all set up for you for this week. Okay, so you can still contact me. Please still send your work to me as you usually would. If you get an email back saying I'm not here, then you just send your work to Mr. Ottazalti instead. I'm still around to be able to help you with any questions, any queries you have, and that is fine. So this week, after that, it'll be Mr. Ottazalti. Now, Mr. Ottazalti will be setting you the same work that he's setting his class. Now, his class is set 5, so it is slightly harder work than you're doing, but it is similar work to what you're doing. Okay? If it gets too hard at any point, don't panic about it. Just send Mr. Ottazalti an email saying I'm a bit stuck, and he will be more than happy to help you. Okay? Right, so I won't speak to you now. You won't hear my voice now, probably until spring next year. So I should be coming back after the Easter holidays in 2021. So I'll see you all then. Hope you keep yourself safe. Hope you keep yourself well. And I look forward to seeing you next year. Bye-bye.